Lisa, and this is Living Life with Lisa, and we talk about living life to the fullest with a chronic illness. I personally am diagnosed with MTHFR, which is a gene mutation, and I have also been diagnosed with early onset dementia. And today we're going to the orthodontist, and it's with a kid that doesn't like YouTube, so you won't see him. But I want to talk about side effects of medication. I just started my full dose of my medicine for memory, and oh my gosh, I feel like I am drunk. My head's swimming and all that stuff. So we'll get back with you later. Bye. Hey again. Yep, we got the one embraces, so we're good to go. So anyway, this video I'm going to talk a little bit about how the meeting went that I went to the other day. I met with, it turned out to be, it was the planning coordinator for Alzheimer's, Dementia Services of Northern Indiana, and they are not connected with the Alzheimer's Association. And I went in ready to fight, ready to talk, and so I went in and talked to her about the lack of groups for people with dementia, and that we're not all bumbling around, and some of us are still productive adults, and talked about the need for this. And she agreed with everything I said. I don't know if she did agree as a social worker or if she truly agreed, but at any rate, I felt like I was being heard. And then when she told me that at one point she said, well, what do you see a group looking like? And I said, I don't have. She said, would you be willing to run one? I said, absolutely. I said, I see going down to the library, renting a room, and then just having people come in. And she said, well, what about topics? And so I read some of the topics off that I had on this YouTube channel, and she liked those topics. And so I'm hoping that that goes through. And I haven't heard from her yet, but I've noticed that when I talk to them and we have to work things out, it takes about a week to get all the wheels running. So I'm not even going to worry about it until next week to see if I hear back. But I think I want to do it. And she told me about a gentleman that had called that voiced the same concerns that particular day. Also a lady that felt the same way that I did, and she went as far as getting on the evening news and telling the television news people about it. And so right there's three squeaky wheels and you know, where there's one squeaky wheel, there's 20 people that aren't squeaking but are feeling the same thing. So I think that with the three of us, we should be able to get something going, even if it's just the three of us, or, you know, if nothing else, we live in all different areas. You know, it might be nice at first if we all go together, but we also live in separate areas, so, you know, maybe it's meant for us to kind of figure out a model for this, what this is going to look like, and then each of us take our own group and our own community. I'm in Plymouth, one's in South Bend, one's in Goshen. So they could have a group in Goshen, a group in South Bend, and a group in Plymouth, because there'd be, the need is incredible. And granted, yes, caregivers need groups too. They have groups for caregivers. We have 0 groups. So we get our group started, and there's no reason that at some point caregiver groups couldn't splinter off from these dementia groups. But I don't want a group that is an activities group to give the caregivers a chance to talk out their stuff. Because yes, I was a caregiver for years for my mother, and it's a tough job, and it's a really tough job. It's a really hard job, and I don't wish that on anyone. That's why I'm in really no hurry to get a caregiver, because I don't want to put anybody through that. With that being said, at some point that's not going to be a choice. It's going to be a have to. And my wish is to have paid caregivers. I want family in the house to watch over and make sure everybody does what they're supposed to do, but I don't want them to have the brunt of the caregiving part, if that makes sense. That's my wish. Whether or not I get it, I don't know, but that's my wish. So at any rate, I don't want these groups to be someplace for the dementia patients to go and spend some time so that the caregivers can have their group. I want this to be a true support group for people that have been diagnosed with the early stages or early onset, or even mid stages if they're still able to get there and discuss it. I don't know, because I don't know what middle stages look like, but in any case, anybody that needs to talk about it and deal with it. And so I would like for that to be a group. Now, if we get that group going and that group gets going strong, and it turns out that these people in our group have caregivers and they want to meet too, the library's full of rooms. Why not have another room and they can start having their meetings at the same time? But not so they have a meeting and we have a meeting, and they have support and we have support, but it's not going to be a situation where one's babysitting so the other can meet. We're both getting what we need. Both groups of people are getting the help that they need. One thing that was brought up is that the activities, people talk during the activities, and it's so that they don't feel uncomfortable talking. Well, that's true with any group. Somebody's going to feel uncomfortable, so keep that group. But there are people that don't have a problem with just sitting around and talking about it. And those people need to have that opportunity. And so I'm going to see what happens and how that goes. Hopefully I'll hear something sooner rather than later. And then we can get this ball rolling. And we'll see about getting advertised, or getting neurologists notified so that they can tell their patients. And then kind of get this ball rolling a little bit. I have been thinking about this a lot, and I do have some ideas. And so so we'll need to talk some more about it, but that's exactly what I'm looking for, and I know that gentleman that called's looking for, and the woman on the news was looking for, and I imagine there's other people looking for it that just have not voiced their opinion. I know that on the page that I have, a lot of people have voiced needing that. What I found out is that I was mistaken. The UK does have support groups for their people. She just wasn't able to find one at the time. But they're called Dementia Cafes. So anybody from the United Kingdom's Alzheimer's Association, can you kind of help us out? Can you kind of give us a hand so that the USA can use some of your ideas and because you guys seem to come up with some of the greatest ideas and implement some of the greatest programs, and we just don't have them here. So I belong to the Facebook for the UK's Alzheimer's group, and that's why I know a little bit about what they're doing. But my friend, they only meet once a month, and I think it's important to meet a little bit more than that. But that's to be discussed when we do the group. If for some reason that organization decides they don't want to do it, I think I'm going to do it anyway. I think I'm going to find a way, because I just really feel that is what I I am meant to do. I really feel that that is something I'm being led to do. You know, very rarely in my life, there's been, well, not rarely, but several times in my life, I feel like my path has been laid out specifically for me to do certain things that God is guiding me, and I'm open to that. And I feel very strongly right now that He's leading me to find a way for people like me to have support. Because, you know, these are everyday struggles. These, you know, my goodness, the stressors are daily. They're not, you know, weekly. It's not, you know, well, you know, Wednesday was a bad day. Every day is difficult. So to talk to people that get that would be a gold mine for help and comfort and support. And so that's where I'm going with that. And that's my hope. And I'm interested if anybody else out there has early onset dementia, or at the beginning stages of dementia. I keep mixing up the early stage and early onset. But you know what I mean, the people that are still able to still talk about it and have a conversation about it and still need to have that done. I'd be interested in knowing, you know, one, where you're at, and two, if you like this idea, and three, if there was a group in your area, would you go to it? If there was a support group in your area, would you go to it? So it's 3 questions, and I want you to put in the comments below. 1, do you have this? 2, where are you from? And you can just say the state or the province or something. You don't have to be specific. Don't give us your address. And then would you be interested in a group? Because I'm curious to see how many people really want groups. I'm not asking you, would you want to lead one? I'm asking, would you attend one if one was available? And I'm curious to see what you all say. So please leave it in the comments below, and we'll talk with you later. So have a great day. Remember to live life to its fullest and live life with no regrets. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.